Hi. This is the moment when I usually make some funny skit related to the topic, but there is no way your first thought wasn't, wait, isn't writing free when seeing the thumbnail? So, I guess the reason why this video got created in the first place is a bit of a joke itself. Granted, an unfunny one, but who knows? Maybe someday big corporations just let people create while not paying hundreds of coins for the tools to do so. We all can dream, right? Hi, hello! I'm Oak, a VTuber and a craftsperson. On this channel you can find various informative videos about approaching specific hobbies while on very tight budget and with environment in mind. If you're a hobby hunter like me and you enjoy anything creative, consider subscribing. And now, let's get back to the topic. Writing. A hobby that sounds cheap. Not in terms of time spent doing it and brainstorming the ideas, no, this is quite extensive, but otherwise it should be cheap, right? I mean, everyone has a phone and most phones have some kind of a note app, and a block of printer paper and a pen also don't cost much, right? But let's be honest, those are not very practical ways of writing. Sure, a clear page is good for planning and brainstorming, and notes on the phone are a nice place for any random ideas that come to you while in the grocery store, but I don't think there would be so many people determined enough to write the whole book that way. And what about learning how to write? Aspiring authors are not born with that knowledge, it's a skill to learn like any other. Do you think I knew what a character arc is when I was writing about a talking cat at 8 years old? I wish! Though, not to brag, I got the highest score for that magical realism masterpiece. Okay, but let's not stray from the main plot of this video here. Today we're going to discuss some free writing softwares, as well as all places to learn some of that writing theory from. I think the most known free place to write is Google Docs. You can edit text there, leave comments, and access every file from any device you're logged in. You can share it with friends or even write it together live. Sounds perfect, right? And to think there is no catch there... Oh wait. Other fully free options are Notepad and YWriter. But those options will speak only to those of us who don't mind... the lack of visual variety. There are no font editing options, nor margins for that matter, but you can write comfortably in there, so if that's all that matters to you, then good luck and have fun. Hope the muses grant you a nice flow. And hey, if you prefer to write in a more organized space, there are still a lot of options. LibreOffice is known for its MS Wordness, and WordPad is... cursed. Why does it have no pages? Where are all the breaks? How am I supposed to focus on writing when I have no finish line to focus on? Where is the end WordPad? Where is it? Other softwares I heard of but personally never used are Focuswriter, Notion and Evernote. For Mac users, Pages and Pro Writing Aid. And for the often forgotten penguin guy, Novel Writer, Manuscript, and I heard a lot of good about Obsidian that works on every operating system. If you'd like to try something less known, made strictly for writers and may or may not be still in development, consider checking out Wavemaker and Ellipsis. First option lets you plan your story, make notes, attach those notes to chapters, and have a lot of other cool brainstorming/word building options. But you can't change the font, nor do any heavy editing there, and if you don't want to link your project to Google Cloud, your only option is to download file in a doc format, which basically forces you to have additional software just to be able to access your work. Ellipsis, on the other hand, offers a wide selection of editing options, ability to add comments, templates for notes such as character descriptions and story arcs, and you can create drafts and then compare them to the main file, which is such an awesome feature, especially for someone who writes 5 versions of the same chapter. And the best part? You can change the color of the site to those lovely browns. Really, I need sepia options in every app now. The only downside I see is the lack of the notes column similar to the one made in Wavemaker. Having them always visible would be very handy in my opinion. But then again, both Wavemaker and Ellipsis are still in development. Former has new versions popping out from time to time, and the latter is in open beta. You can also find places to chat with other users and developers themselves, which is super cool. Okay, I think I discussed free softwares quite extensively, so now let's move our focus to the second section of this video. Writing theory and where to find it. And let's be honest, you probably already know the answer to that question. It's the internet! And libraries. Reddit, forums, Facebook groups full of cursed AI members, blogs, Discord, YouTube. You don't need to search for hours to find some helpful resources. My two biggest recommendations are those two YouTube channels. Ellen Brock, a professional novel editor, and a passionate and observant writer, Tim from Hello Future Me. Both those people share a lot of knowledge, but in two different ways. Ellen focuses on structure and form, while Tim's approach is more centered around vibes and world building, as well as discussing plot and character arcs from existing media. And if you rather stare into paper than a screen, I'm quite sure your local library have at least one title on the topic. Who knows, maybe even this specific one. But even if you don't find anything, you should still consider reading some books from the genre you want to write in. Treat it like a relaxation time combined with research. Truly two birds with one stone situation. And that's all! I could yap some more about inspiration, but I feel like when it comes to writing, everyone has their own way of getting it. But I have a question for you all, as this is something I was thinking about more than once lately. Have you ever read a story blog? Not of the Wattpad and AO3 kind, but standalone blog with beautiful custom template. Does anyone still remembers them? Do they still exist somewhere? I miss them so much. Please share your writing-related nostalgia in the comments, and if you know of any blogs or writing resources, also feel free to leave them there. Hope to see you next week. Bye bye!